Namaste, Soul Family. Welcome to some more Celebrity Tarot. Dear Soulless, Day of the Sun, Sunday. Yeah, so I wanted to, make some more videos, or make another video to be specific, because I did promise y'all, some time ago, to talk about Aaliyah's death. And before I go any further, this is strictly for entertainment purpose, for legal reasons. Yeah, so nothing that is said should be taken seriously. You know, this is just a scenario of me throwing my stone in the pig pen, like Jamaican, as in Jamaican, a Jamaican proverb, that is so common here. I'm just throwing my stones in a pig pen, and the pigs, they will squeal if they get hit. Okay, so that's just that. It's let me just reaffirm, for entertainment purpose. Okay, for legal reasons. Okay, so yeah, remember I said, because if you've been following up and listening to my previous videos, you'd have heard me mention me constantly questioning my intuition, and me constantly being proven by spirit that, hey, by intuition rather, being constantly proven by spirit that, hey, it is correct, it is right, it is true. Okay, so I was led because I am a medium. There's an aspect for that, an astrological aspect for that. And no wonder I have been alone, because I never truly feel alone. And it makes sense because Virgos are transitioners. We are like Grim Reaper. We take people's souls, people's spirits from the 3D realm to other realms, okay? And when Aaliyah died, I was still living in Kingston with my mother, sisters, and my stepfather. I think I was, let me see, what year did Aaliyah die? What year did she die? She died, I think, 2001 or 2000. But I think I was about 11 years old then. And I remember being strongly hit by sorrow. And I'm an empath. I tend to feel people's suffering and stuff like that. And so I don't I don't know how people, maybe some of my other videos, you may get the feeling that I'm obnoxious, I'm a bitch, I'm apathetic. I'm not. Contrary, because let me just tell you something. Some people deserve that energy, because that's pretty much how they are to other people. And for me, being a medium, being a Virgo trine 666, I see beyond the veils of illusions. Okay, see beyond the veils of illusion. So whilst the majority of people, they may see a particular person as a nice person, let's say Rihanna, for example, and I'm not attacking her, because she's a celebrity, or because she's a billionaire. I'm not. I tell you all that I write songs also. My songs and what I know where astrology is concerned, my gifts and my abilities, they're worth more than $1 trillion. So there's just no reason to be jealous. Some of us, we're just not hungry for fame. There are women who are doing all kinds of stuff to get attention, to get their rise in the music industry. I am not one of those women. And so therefore, the conclusion of the matter is, if I was desperate for fame, I would I would prostitute myself. I would purposely cause drama, beef with people, so that I get attention. That's not what I'm doing. Because hey, I write songs quite easy. I can do it in my sleep. Okay, all praises to the Great Spirit. It's all to the Spirit and the demons. My demons are running, running it up. We're running on my mic. But let me just say, I don't take credit for that gift. But I do applaud myself for, rising to the occasion. Rise to the occasion. Look at yourself and say you're strong. No one can stop me. You feel me? This is like Kalonji. So I stand up for the underdog. I notice a lot of people, they don't care. They don't even acknowledge the underdogs, moreover to care or to pay them any mind. I notice a lot of people, they take side with those who seem as though they're in power. And even though, and even when they know the right thing and it's contrary to what the person in power is doing or saying, they wouldn't dare. It's not in them. They're cowards to speak up. Speak up to these people, these so-called, entities of power, but they're not really powerful entities, because if they were, they would not see the need to kick somebody while they're down, or whilst they're down. You feel what I'm trying to say? And I remember saying something similar in regards to this on a TikTok account that I have. And I was talking about a lot of people, you just don't you ever wish, because listen, I remember that was one of the graduation song for my graduation ceremony. Don't you ever wish you were someone else, you were meant to be the way you are exactly. Don't you ever say you don't like the way you are. When you learn to trust yourself, you're better off by far. And I hope you always stay the same, 'cause there's nothing about you I would change. And I noticed that every person and every encounter, every experience that I've had, 333, was to shape me into this self-love guru. Even the graduation song, even the school's, several, mottos, even lot numbers, even, communities I've lived in. All of those were just strategically, synchronistically placed for me, to prepare me to teach and guide people. Because like I said, Virgo is a transitioner, a guide. Excuse me. It takes courage to stand up to somebody who, they seem to have a whole lot of power. They're a billionaire, they got a lot of, followers or fans, but you got to be confident. There are too many cowards. Because they wonder, okay, Rihanna Navy's gonna come for them, or the Shenyang's. Fuck the Shenyang's and the Rihanna Navies, because those people are just mindless people who are, so heavily drenched into and under a pseudonym, an algorithm, an illusion, that they don't even know A from B. They don't even know their head from their feet. Those stupid idiots cannot say anything to me that could possibly. Listen, I need y'all to research Sigma, because that's the personality type that I am. That's the personality type that I belong to. And once you see and understand who a Sigma is, you don't even waste your time trying to combat a Sigma. I'm not an alpha. Alphas, they care. They're weak. They only pretend they're not. And I touched on, the difference between the alpha and the sigma, not just on my TikTok, but on one of my YouTube channel. Okay? 10, 0, 0, and then 10, 0, 1. That means something. Okay? The completion of a Saturn cycle and the beginning of a new one. Because where something completes or is completed, something new begins. Hold on. I'm going to clear my sinus. Okay. That feels good. Okay. So you gotta be strong. I think I need to clear some more. I'm not gonna pause. Okay, so yeah. It's good to clear the sinus. So I'm gonna just say something because a lot of people be saying, trying to blame the white folks for the black communities, black communities discriminating against dark-skinned, performers and musicians and so on and so forth, and artists, and that's a lie from the pit of hell. Okay, that's a wicked lie. Because what I've come to notice is that Caucasians who are attracted to the African race or the Afro race, they tend to, favor the darker skinned black people. And I notice also it is only black people who tend to have this obsession towards lighter skinned blacks. Okay, the intuition is coming. When I, my stomach, is very active, or, my sinus, I know that's my senses, being tingled by the spiritual realm. As well as I just said something spicy. But everything is everything. Those who know what I mean. 1248 equals 1212, Ascension. Okay, so clear my throat. My apologies, guys. I'm just, gonna be, real. I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat anything or try to, make this, so smooth and perfect. The hell is this? I'm a human being. Not gonna do the most or stress myself in delivering a message. I'm just gonna deliver it, however state I am in when delivering it. You feel me? And I feel like society has become so fake. It makes me so nauseous. Yeah, so yeah, it's only the black people. And I kind of want to touch on that, where Rihanna is concerned, because a lot of times you see these light-skinned, let me tell you something, the shallow women, light-skinned black shallow women from other races, they tend to have this affinity to black men, dark-skinned black men. And I'm going to tell you why. It's so shallow, and that's why I call them shallow. Let me tell you something. When you're a light-skinned black woman, it don't matter what tone or complexion you are, to a Caucasian or an Asian, you're still a black person. Well, I'm not really sure about the Asians, but I know specifically Caucasians. You're just another black person. It doesn't matter if you're lighter than the next chick or the next dude. As long as you black, you just black to them, okay? They don't use, phrases or statements like the dark-skinned girl or the light-skinned. No, they just say black, the black girl or the black guy. Whether you want to be of Rihanna's complexion or Beyonce's complexion or Shansia's complexion. They don't really give two F's, okay? Whether you want to be of Meghan Markle's complexion, biracial, it don't really matter. As long as you got some black in you, you a black person to them. Okay? Okay. Now it is within the black community where they start this whole, specifying. And when they're supposed to specify, they don't do that. But in trivial scenarios, situations, they specify like that's not important. Okay? But it is to a lot of black people. Whether you're dark skinned or light skinned, it is not important to a Caucasian person. Do not be misled by these arrogant black people out there and ignorant black people, both ignorant and arrogant, who are trying to create this illusion that, oh, it is Massa, it's Uncle Sam, it's the white man who is creating this segregation. No. Now they'll talk about the house slave and the field slave and blah 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 blah, and that's how they try to feed and to support their hilarious, delusional concepts. But let me just tell you something, okay? They formulated that illusion because of that. That wasn't created because of that illusion, but black people created that illusion because of that. And there's so many reasons why it was that way. But it's not because they favor the lighter skinned blacks. Okay? And whether you were a house slave or a field slave, you're still a slave. Why are black people fighting over, being field slaves, house slaves? That is so low. Why not try to liberate the entire black collective by stop segregating the black collective from the rest of the human collective, if you know what I'm trying to say, and stop fighting over who's a fucking house slave or field slave? Why is there dignity or integrity in being a slave any at all? You feel what I'm trying to say? So a lot of these light-skinned black women and women from other races, they go for these dark-skinned black men because subconsciously they know these dark-skinned black men have no self-love, no self-worth. They don't even love their mamas because they do not see any woman bearing a similar complexion. I'm not we don't have to say similar appearance, okay, with the broad nose and blah blah blah. Not putting down broad nose, I'm just saying, but complexion, that's the topic we're on. They don't even see women bearing a similar complexion to their mamas being worthy of, being their wives or, breeding with. And it's so pitiful because like the seed that comes from, the man, which is his sperm, that's the life thereof. Whether you women want to accept it, inside the egg, that's just an incubator baby. We are incubators to these men's babies. Okay? And that's why you find a lot of these black men who are breeding with, women from other races, and most of them, not saying all of them, most of them ended up with dark-skinned children. And there's so many of them I've seen on social media, so many of them I've seen, in person, breeding with these light-skinned black women, breeding with women from other races, and these kids, looking nothing mixed. And sometimes that's a Saturn lesson for them to learn to love themselves. Because you breeding with a woman who is lighter skinned than you are, or is from a different, ethnic group from you are, doesn't mean that you're that doesn't take away, your genetics from the kid. Are you trying to say you're weak? your weak ass man, your genetics has no roots, no foundations. A lot of these lighter skin, I'm coming to the point, a lot of these lighter skin black women, they really aim for these, darker skinned men, because they be lusting after them, and they worship them. But they don't get that from the Caucasian man. They don't get that from the men of other races. It is only the black man who idolizes light skinnedness. And a lot of these light skinned black women, the only thing that they have that's similar in any way, shape, or form to self worth or self esteem is their light skinnedness, and that's it. I'm not saying all of them. I would hope not all of them, but I'm telling you, majority of them, because that's social conditioning. Specifically, if they were bred or grown up in a black community, they may have a completely different perspective if they were, grown in a white dominant community. You feel what I'm trying to say? Or a white community. Because then they would have the mentality that it don't matter if they're light skinned or dark skinned, they're still a black person. Light skinned blacks who are grown in black dominant communities, like for example the Caribbean, they grow with this, pompous mentality that they're better than the darker skinned blacks. And then, if they don't receive some royal treatment whilst growing up, they complain. They complain that, oh, the kids taunted them when they were younger. Like, every kid gets taunted. Even the quiet kid. Even the shy kid who doesn't trouble anybody. But they want you they try to victimize themselves, to make it seem as though, okay, they should have been worshipped or glorified. Or, okay, people envy them. And not saying that that's not always true. But that's always coming from people who were social conditioned into thinking that lighter skinned is better. Being lighter skinned is better. And so them being darker skinned, they feel the need to hate on the lighter skinned individual because they weren't born lighter skinned. You feel what I'm trying to say, guys? And so that's why I've been against the black music industry, because it has segregated itself from the major music industry because of that shallow pathology. Look, you seldomly see dark-skinned black chicks trending where music is concerned, regardless of how good their songs are. I look at Dej Loaf. Look at Dej Loaf. She's an awesome, musician. I love her songs. Not because I love her songs, I expect everyone else to love her songs. But her songs are really good. And what do I consider a good song? A song that's got content, substance. Not just you just saying random shit and then, showing your light skinnedness and twerking your ass for attention. And people should not pay attention to the fact that what you're spitting out is utter garbage. It makes no fucking sense in your mind because you're light skinned and you're shaking your boobs and your ass that you got done under knife. And nothing, I have nothing against plastic surgery, but when did it became so much of a a good thing being unhappy with yourself? Because now plastic surgery is good because for example, people who were born deformed or people who were injured by whether fire, acid, or they got, injured by, an accident. Those people, they need plastic surgery, but I don't believe in cosmetic plastic surgery. And I don't know. That's why I be saying, like, people are still fake now, because, like, when did it become acceptable and so dope for a woman? Because it's mostly the woman doing it. Because, like, I remember this post that someone made on one of them social media account about, women having to do the most to get attention in the music industry, whilst these men be looking like, they mentioned a particular rapper. I don't remember his name, because though I do rap songs, I don't listen to rap music that much. But he's not cute. Let me just pretty much sum that up. He's not cute. So you got these men, they be coming out anyway, anyhow. They ain't cute or anything, and they're not doing surgeries. But it's the woman. Like, it's like, and it's specifically the black music industry. Not saying Caucasian musicians, they don't do surgery. But if they do surgery, it's not for, record sales. It's not for them to get noticed. It's because they got a lot of cash and they just want to do that. We got black musicians coming up. They don't even got the dough. Like, say for example, Shinsia, and they be like splurging on plastic surgery. Like, first, can you make some money first? But they think that they gotta, like, change their form, their body, to be accepted. And I'm like, when did it become dope or attractive or sexy to be dissatisfied with yourself, to not love yourself? Because that's what it is. You did not like the way your nose looked. You did not like the way your boobs looked. You did not like the way your stomach looked. You did not like the way, your hair looked. Like, for the people, like, people may take offense to this, but even with your hair, it starts there. And then, when you have no balance, no self-control, you start, 1 inch becomes a yard, and a yard a mile. No, nothing's wrong if you want to get your hair done, but, like, when did, people not accepting themselves become sexy? Because some of these men, they seem to adore this insecurity of women not loving them, not loving themselves, not accepting themselves. And it's like, now, as long as you have money, you're the hit guy or the it girl. And how these guys, I'm specifically talking about the black music industry, because if you notice, it's different from the rest of the entire music industry. And that's no joke, that's the truth. The men, how they show they got a lot of monies, they buy a lot of jewelry, they break their necks in heavy chains. Okay, I tell you, these black men, they love chains around their neck and shit. Okay, that's some real ish. And they splurge and they buy expensive watches, gadgets, well, not really gadgets, but like, jewelry, like rings and watches, chains around their necks and ish like that, to break their motherfucking necks and stuff like that. And brand name clothes. You hardly have these men, creating their own brands of, their own brands of clothing and stuff like that. They're more obsessed with, when you look at it, a lot of these black musicians, they have no self-worth, because they're not confident in creating their own brand of clothing and, capitalizing off of that. You feel what I'm trying to say? And so that's how and spending money, giving bitches money to pretend like they're in a relationship with them. That's another way how these men show they got money. These black musicians, these black celebrities. And how do these black female celebrities show off their monies? The same with the jewelry and stuff like that. But plastic surgery. That's how they show they got money. Plastic surgery. Even if they don't got money. But them getting plastic surgeries then is supposed to create that illusion that they got a lot of money. And let me tell you, the black music industry is so dark and fake. Because a lot of these people you see showing piles of cash online, that's not even their money. They be borrowing from loan sharks. Sometimes you hear some of these, I'm not saying all of these black celebrities who have gotten shot or who are getting shot out there, okay, you know, it's because they owe some loan shark, but for some of them, that's the case. And there's a proverb here in Jamaica that goes by this: show off, bring disgrace. People being so caught up in trying to cast illusions that they lose themselves within them illusions. That's pathetic and sad. You know, if I'm homeless, damn, I'm homeless. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not gonna get with, you know, somebody because I want to be in a house to say, oh, damn, I live here, and to create the illusion that I own the place when that's not true. Because eventually whatever is in the darkness always makes its way to the light. You best believe that. Okay? So, I have not yet touched on the Aaliyah. Okay? I feel like I may touch on that in part 2 of this. Okay? Because I don't want to make this too long. I don't think so. Okay? Yeah. But it's so sad. We see where, you know, Spice, she's trying to rise, but she's getting a lot of fight because, oh, she's too dark to be a big shot. Now, I'm not a fan of her, but I like to speak justice where it's whenever, wherever it's necessary. Please don't interrupt my recording, pop star, okay? Okay. That's my younger son. So, and people are taking a shot at her. A lot of times you hear these people, you know, in the industry throwing shade. It's solely got to do with skin complexion. Because if these people who they were throwing shade at were light pigmented, they wouldn't call them ugly, or call them ugly, or call them, you know, dumpy. You feel what I'm trying to say? And that's some real shallowness. And, you know, when people spit certain ish in songs, they gotta be careful. You gotta really be careful. Really be careful. Because you're taking an aim or shot at another artist. And you're saying that artist is ugly. Why is that artist ugly to you? It's purely because that artist is darker skinned than you are. And you know what that makes you? A shallow bitch. And I did say this, you know, that little mindless fuck has been, you know, stalking my social media accounts. It's been for some time. But like I said, imitation is the best form of flattery. Like I was on Twitter and I had to unfollow some people because sometimes when you follow some people, certain their interests floats onto your page on Twitter, Instagram. It doesn't matter. Okay, that's how social media works. I'm like, listen, some of these people I don't want to hear about them because they're nobodies to me. And she was like coming with this whole full of shit. She's supposedly humble kind of shit. Like, you never showed at any point in your career any form of humility. Where did this sudden humility come from? And then that epiphany hits you. Bitches ain't writing their songs. People be writing songs for them. But you like the shallowness. You love the shallowness. Because you take on those songs as projects. And you voice them in studios. And you perform them. But if you were such a humble person, why wasn't that ever manifested in any of your songs? But when narcissistic people want to play on people's emotions to, please buy my album because I'm such a humble person. Listen, nobody's more pitiful than a narcissist when they are at their lowest and they're desperate for a straw. Okay? So I just wanted to touch on that. I'm done with that bitch, okay? Because she's just, I'm not too fond, and no apology, no disrespect I should say, but I'm not too fond of Librans, Sun in Libra, and I never had a good experience with them, nor Sun in Pisces. I never ever had good experiences with people belonging to those frequencies, specifically Sun in Libra and Sun in Pisces. They're just too fake. They're just too fake for me, and I cannot deal with the fakeness. Even if people ain't gonna like you, just be yourself. I cannot trust you if you're fake. I gotta always be trying to decipher, is this the real you? Is you showing up in a front? Is this another one of your illusions? Or this is really you? And most times you never get to see the true form of a Libran or a Piscean. It just, no. I don't fancy those frequencies. Okay? So I'm gonna come back. Now I'm not saying every Sun in Libra is like that, but everyone I've come across, and I've come across quite a few, I just don't like the desperation for attention. I just feel like we should just live our lives, do what you love, okay? But if you're gonna do things for attention or for people to love you, then you will commit murder. I don't trust you. You may murder people if you have not yet. And if you did in the past, you most possibly will do so again. I don't trust people like that. When you are always doing things to appease the crowd, I don't trust you. And that's what I noticed with Librans. They just they're just a fake. I don't like that. I'm Aquarius trine, along with being a Virgo trine, and even if people think I'm a bitch, I'm happy because that's who I am. Okay, and if you see who I am as being, a bitch, okay, that's your perspective. I'm sure somebody else is gonna see me as being well disciplined and well put together, someone reliable, someone honest. Okay? Some people, you will always be a bitch to them because they like that fakeness and they want you to be fake like them. Okay? So you being your true and authentic self is you being fake. And you know, I came across something, a post, in which, someone was saying, like, sometimes people have a tendency of saying, oh, you talk differently to them than how you talk to other people. And that's what makes you fake. That's not what I'm talking about. This is something different. Okay? Not everybody deserves a certain frequency that you emit. Especially if you're a multifaceted, multi-dimensional being like myself. You have varied personalities, composed or, contained in one body. It's like you ain't gonna talk the same to everybody. And I literally don't talk the same to everyone. I have so many different ranges of vocals. And sometimes I'd be like, I don't even know myself, but I do know myself. I'm just multifaceted and multidimensional. Okay? And so I know how to shift to suit each energy. Because some of these people, they don't deserve the sweet talker. They don't deserve the empress. They deserve the devil frequency. Okay? And it is what it is. Some people, they deserve the fool's frequency. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't know what I'm talking about either. Oh, I seem like a fool. I seem like an idiot, but don't get that twisted. I ain't no fool. I ain't a fool. Grammar, I ain't an idiot. When I talk about being fake, I mean, you never saw the need to get your tits done until somebody criticized your boobs. That's you being fake. Why did you just see, your boobs needed fixing? Why? You fake. Why you pretending like you were born with those boobs? They're fake. Why you pretending you were born with that nose? Every time you go to get surgery done, you lie that you sick. One day you're gonna really be sick and you ain't gonna recover from that sickness because you fake. You keep hiding to get surgeries done and pretending that's not what you're doing. You fake. Or you're getting surgeries done and then you're pretending like you all miss hot and unbothered. Then why did you get surgery done? See, I know how to debunk these people and their so-called high self-esteem and their so-called self-worth and their so-called self-love. Because when you really, as a conscious, subconsciously conscious individual, start to dissect everything that they're saying, you notice and you realize that these people, they have no self-worth, they don't love themselves, and they've got no self-esteem. You feel what I'm trying to say? And then we got people, following them like mindless zombies and eventually doing the same thing they be doing. And again, I ask, when did it become a trend for people to not accept their forms, their bodies, flaws and all, that it is now a cool thing to have cosmetic surgery done? You did not meet in an accident. You did not, got burnt. You did not, undergo any scenario scenario, situation where which your body was mutilated or deformed in any way, shape, or form. You were not born deformed. Then why? Oh, you the hottest chick in town because you prostituted yourself so you could have enough money to change yourself. And then you say you love. No, you love an illusion of yourself that you projected or you're projecting to society.